Hey, this is Dr. Berry. For the next few minutes, let's discuss the 7 best sources of omega-3 fatty acids. Now, before I get into that, I want to explain omega-3 fatty acids and omega-6s just a little bit. I'm not going to dive too deep into the science. I want to keep this simple so that it's very actionable and so you can immediately put it to use, improving your health. We're going to talk about the 7 best sources of omega-3 fatty acids for the price and for the ease of procurement. I don't want you to have to drive 3.5 hours to the local metropolitan city and search for a very, very expensive source of omega-3 fatty acids. That's not what this video is about. I realize that time and money are very important to all of us, and so I try to always find the cheapest sources that are the easiest to get your hands on. So that's what we're going to be talking about. If you know someone who's trying to improve their health with diet, please share this video with them. You're also welcome to share it in your group or on your Facebook page. We love it when you share because it helps me to help so many more people that otherwise I could never reach. Now, let's talk about the omega-3 fatty acids for a second. There's actually 11 different ones that I know of. There's probably even more than that some researchers know about. But the 3 most important ones are DHA, EPA, and then ALA. Now, DHA and EPA come predominantly from animal sources, animal source foods. And then ALA comes predominantly from plant source foods. So DHA and EPA, if you're eating a carnivore diet or a meat heavy ketogenic diet, then you're getting probably plenty of DHA and EPA. You want to make sure that you are. And I'm going to tell you some sources at the end of this video where you can get them from without breaking the bank. A lot of people think that ALA is just as good of a omega-3 fatty acid, but the problem with ALA is it has to be converted into either DHA or EPA before it to really have a good effect in the body. And the conversion is very inefficient. Usually only 1 or 2% of ALA gets converted to DHA and EPA. And so you may have gotten some information in the past that you can get all the omega-3 fatty acids that you need if you only eat plants, but that's just not true. I'm sorry, you can't get enough DHA and EPA ever. And you can eat tons of ALA, but it doesn't convert to the good ones very much at all. And then also you're getting tons of omega-6 fatty acids, which you don't want too many of if you're eating too many plant-based sources of omega-3 or 6 fatty acids. So what you want to get is lots of omega-3 fatty acids in your diets. Now you're going to get some omega-6s, and that's okay. You're actually going to get more omega-6s than you are omega-3s in most diets, but that's okay. You want to try to keep the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 to about 4 to 1 or less. But the average American is eating a ratio of 20 to 1 or 30 to 1. They're getting way more omega-6 fatty acids than they are omega-3 fatty acids. And that's not good. And here's why. Every cell membrane of every cell in your body has to have fatty acids to make its cell membrane. Okay, it's very important. And if the cell membrane is not constructed properly, then that cell does not function properly. And so you can quickly see if you're eating tons of omega-6 fatty acids and those are being incorporated into the cell membrane and you're not eating enough omega-3s, your cell membranes and therefore your cells and therefore your tissues and ultimately your body is not going to perform the way you want it to. And so if you want your cells, your cell membranes, and your tissues to perform optimally, you have to get plenty of omega-3 fatty acids in your diet. Now let's talk about, I've got 7 of the most easiest to get your hands on and the cheapest sources of omega-3 fatty acids you can find. Are you ready? Number 1 is mackerel. Mackerel is a cold water fish. It's full of omega-3. And there's really not a lot of mackerel farming going on in other countries. And so you're pretty assured to get wild caught mackerel most of the time. The next is herring. Same thing. I think some of our brothers and sisters across the ocean call them kippers, but they are very small fish, so there's really no profit to be had from farming them. So they're usually wild caught, full of omega-3s. And these fish that I'm listing are kind of low down on the food chain, and so they don't get the buildup of mercury and other toxins that top of the food chain fish like tuna might often get. The next is sardines. This is my personal favorite way to get omega-3 fatty acids from seafood. They stink really bad. You'll have to put some mustard or salt or pepper or something on there. If you're like me, you'll have to eat them outside because your wife won't let you eat them indoors. But they are full of tons of vitamins and minerals and nutrients, and also omega-3 fatty acids. The next is salmon. You want to make sure you get wild caught salmon. This is going to be more expensive, but it's worth it to get the wild caught. The next is oysters. A lot of people don't think about this, but oysters have quite a good little supply of omega-3 fatty acids. They also have tons of other vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. Okay. And so, to my vegan brothers and sisters out there, I really would love it if you would start to incorporate at least some oysters into your diet. Oysters don't have faces, they don't run around, they're not cute and cuddly. I think maybe your morals will let you eat oysters, and then you've got a great source of omega 3 fatty acids, and yet you're not going against what you believe. Next is grass fed beef and grass-fed butter. These, if they're grass-fed, they are much better sources of omega-3 fatty acids than if they are not grass-fed. If you can get grass-fed and grass-finished, all the way grass-fed butter, that's very rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Usually, the more grass-fed it is, the higher the price, and so you'll have to let your budget decide. But even just regular butter has a pretty good supply of omega-3 fatty acids. And then number 7 is pastured eggs and pastured pork. And these come from chickens and pigs that are allowed to run free in the pasture in the woods and eat the things that chickens and pigs are supposed to eat instead of eating lots of corn and grain. If you feed chickens and pigs properly, then they are an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids. So there you go. There's your list of 7. Please consider clicking that subscribe button and the little bell right beside it if you love videos that combine common sense with the latest research. Also, if I've helped change your health in some small way, please consider clicking on my Patreon link down below. It's a quick sign up, and you can throw a buck or two my way so that I have more time to make videos just like this so that I can help more people just like you. This is Dr. Berry. I'll see you next time.